Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the February 6th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a little time for myself. We'll begin with a serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I will take a moment to look this over. The question of the day is, what have I discovered about myself from Al-Anon's service? The passage begins with someone who was asked to chair an Al-Anon adult children convention, and they were questioning themselves. They thought of all these different reasons why they couldn't do it, and then they asked their higher power for guidance in making the best decision that they could for themselves. They decided that if they were asked to do it, then maybe someone, actually thought that they could do it and that they should give it a try. So they said yes. And they realized that their higher power had faith in them. And the experience led them to see themselves as their higher power saw them. Strong and compassionate. Today's reminder, we don't always have to say yes to service, but when we do, we know that we are safe and that we will be supported. The quote is from Discovering Choices, Recovery in Relationships. And it says that service is part of our recovery, an important part of our recovery. So in service in Al-Anon, it's helped me to understand the concept of humility better, that if anyone else can do it, then I can do it. And same, if I can do it, then anybody else can do it. So it's just kind of a unifying feeling that we support each other, period. There's no more, no less to it, that I will support someone in service, and if I'm in service, someone will support me. So when I chair a meeting, when I'm the timer at a meeting, when I was the alternate group rep, when I went to conventions, when I was the treasurer for my group for a few years, I was always supported. And I remember when I first started being the treasurer, I had questions. So I kind of partnered with the previous treasurer, and she was so helpful. And then the same thing, when someone took over for me, I did the same thing. I kind of partnered with them and made myself available if they had any questions. So it's just a very comfortable space to grow and experience fellowship and compassion and unity and acceptance. It's really beautiful. So that's what Al-Anon service. That's when I think of Al-Anon service. That's what I think of. I think of all those wonderful things. So moving right along. It'll take a minute to look this over. This passage is about waiting, and sometimes the best thing we can do is nothing. We say that in Al-Anon sometimes. I forget the exact saying, but something like, so, like what I said, sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. This passage starts out with when this person got to Al-Anon, they were hoping to find suggestions on how to throw their alcoholic loved one out. But they were told to make no major changes for 6 months. And they were glad that they did that. Even though this person kept getting the guidance to wait and do nothing yet, they ignored that. They forced a solution and left the relationship. And immediately they knew they had made a mistake. So they admitted that they had acted prematurely, and they say that it took time. Eventually, they came to a decision that they could live with. Today's reminder: when we try to force solutions, we probably won't get what we're looking for. Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh, and I just read this. When in doubt, don't. When in doubt, don't. That's the saying. The quote is from As We Understood. It says sometimes waiting is the best thing to do. It's so nice because sometimes when I wait, the thing that I thought was something that I had to act on just irons itself out and I don't have to do anything. Sometimes I do have to make a decision, but at least I've given myself time to consider all my actions so I don't feel like it was a rushed decision. And that helps me to feel more comfortable and confident or secure, in serene even, in some of the decisions that I make. When in doubt, don't. Easy enough. We'll close out with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Just thought I'd mention real quickly that I finished my last antibiotic today and my eye is feeling perfect and healthy, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.